Well guys, I'm probably going to sound suspicious, but I'm truly delighted with the Kove 450 rally. Man, this rarely happens in a lifetime. I dreamt about this bike for a long time. I used to say I wish to have a CRF 250 with a Caballero engine. Now I'd be a happy guy. And then they announced this bike and we started looking into it. We didn't even know if it was going to come to Europe. And then we learned it had the Caballero engine, even slightly more evolved. But man, that made all my juices run, and I was really excited about this bike. So getting the bike here in my hometown and being able to ride in this paradise with a Kove, it's really surreal. And man, the bike is really incredible. The weight distribution between the front and the rear, and also the low mass, the low center of gravity, fills you with confidence, maybe even a little too much confidence, but it just feels so gripped to the floor. And anytime I lost a little bit of traction, everything was very progressive, everything was very gradual and easy to control. Yeah, man, I don't know, I'm just getting used to it, and I like almost everything about it. It's a pain in the ass that the ABS goes off all the time, but at the same time it's really easy to get to it, except the panel does take a little while to come on. But it's a couple of clicks and you can turn it off, you'll get used to it quickly. It's very easy to see if it's off, because you have a little graphic with the motorcycle and you can see the rear wheel showing that, you know, the rear is off. I turn it off only in the rear. I like having ABS in the front. I'm not a pro rider. I'm just an average dude that doesn't even ride motorcycles all that well. I've heard some people saying the gearbox was a little stiff, and I found that the issue was really in the clutch. I really needed to press the clutch all the way. I could not do two-finger operation, because then the gearbox would feel a little bit too tight. So I'm assuming this is going to be just a question of finding the right fine-tuning so we can, you know, do our usual operation, and so that the clutch is doing its full operation when we're having the two fingers, you know, and the lever slightly touching our other knuckles. But other than that, I actually thought that the gearbox was very smooth when I was doing that. It was easy to find neutral. It's also, you know, for a pretty tall bike, this is 960 millimeters, I believe. And I was kind of, you know, sketchy and afraid that I wouldn't be able to handle it all that well. And yes, it feels like a very tall bike, but manageable. Another thing I'm very surprised is that this doesn't have like a huge turning radius, but man, the bike turns around so well. It's like, again, hard to describe. You're gonna have to ride it for yourself. I don't know, man. I'm in ecstasy almost, you know, this great weather that we had. You know, it's not hot, you know, the moist from the evenings, and because there was not much sun today, it was, you know, we still had a little bit of traction. The tires, I mean, I don't know these tires. Maybe, you know, they did part of the job and they worked really well, or it's the bike that it's doing really the job. The suspensions are really stiff, but I'm gonna let them work for a little while before I'm gonna start tweaking them. The bike handled me fine. If you're lighter than me, you're probably gonna feel the bike really stiff if it comes like this for you stock as well. So just be patient, and you'll eventually get the suspensions tuned for your weight. The seat, it's definitely not an enduro seat. It's not a board, but it's also not super comfy, so I don't think I'm going to keep this seat for long, because I want to do some long travel with this bike. This is the whole point and the whole perspective I'm looking at this bike, is making it more adventure ready, and like what we've been doing with other bikes, which is grabbing bikes that are not really off-road worthy or great, and we make them better for off-road so that we can use them off-road. I think this is going to be a little bit more the other way around. Off-road, it doesn't need anything. It's absolutely perfect as it is. So a more comfortable seat, I'm sure, will be in order. I think we're going to try and do the tarmac route back. We'll also test the lights on the way back. And man, I'm super stoked. The engine is really corked up. I guess that's how you say it in English. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. But I can totally identify the character of the Caballero engine, the popcorn when you shift one down. It's great. I love this engine. So yeah, really looking forward, you know, for the rest. We still have to run the engine in, and it's kind of complicated process. Every 500 kilometers we have to change oil until you do 2,000 kilometers, and then you start spacing it out to 1,500, 2,000, and eventually 4,000. They say we might be able to push it depending on the type of use we do, but we're going to be checking the oil thoroughly every time we do the oil changes and see how the engine is behaving. But again, I'm so stoked. I think I don't have the words to really explain how cool and how nice it is to ride this bike here. I mean, for me personally, this is really a dream come true. It's what I've been asking the industry. It's what the big brands have been denying us for 10 years almost. So man, super thankful to Mr. Zangshu and Kove, and I hope Kove keeps doing this work, man, because I think these bikes are important. Now, some people prefer the lighter bikes to ride and not feel constrained by the big trails and not thinking about where they can go or they cannot go, or if you're going to be able to turn the bike around, or if you're going to be able to lift it up, you know, on your own. This is like really a dream come true, man. Okay guys, stay tuned because we're probably going to be dumping a lot more content to you. We're really stoked with the bike, so we're going to keep on riding it as much as we can. So see you guys soon.